And then Young Miami, who was popping all type of you can't hear a word out of her mouth now. Everybody's quiet now.
And afterward, youthful Miami, who is popping all sort of you can't hear a mother word out of her mouth. Presently, everyone's peaceful, now huge and as yet talking, they tranquil as damnation man. Did you all attempt to cause youthful Miami problems? Ye peruse the record, you all should need to. Cause youthful Miami problems, you realize Diddy ain't playing man, so it appears as though youthful Miami is getting sucked into Diddy's wreck herself, on the grounds that the roads are saying that she is additionally getting dropped by Revolt Television and is going to lose all that. It likewise appears as though Diddy has quit paying her sugar child recompense and Miami is having a psychological episode since she is rapidly going belly up kid. Miami is going through it, and it seems as though she is going down with Diddy and she is going down hard. Did she simply dump Diddy D? Why not together? No Maltham in light of the fact that like he was. He wasn't prepared and I was attempting to be a lady and get things done and he wasn't, so then. At that point I was and I left. Okay, so it appears as though Diddy isn't the only one confronting the aftermath from his new claims on the grounds that much more individuals are being impacted by it. And no, I don't mean his legal counselors, since I'm almost certain that his attorneys are grinning to the bank and furtively wanting for considerably more claims to come up so they can continue to make bank, yet the legal advisors are the only ones in Diddy's camp that are grinning over this, since every other person is in a condition of mayhem, including his boothing youthful Miami. As per reports, youthful Miami is being dropped alongside Diddy, which isn't all that stunning on the grounds that Diddy is the significant purpose for that clout that Miami had in the business, and now that he's going down, Miami is going down with him. And will the things that have been affirmed against Diddy, they're crazy, beginning from Cassie's claim where he said that Diddy attempted Miss Ventura in her own home after she attempted to leave him, frequently punched, beat, kicked, and trampled Miss Ventura, bringing about wounds, burst lips, bruised eyes, and draining constrained Miss Ventura to participate in private demonstration with male SW. While getting off on it and recording the experiences, requested that Miss Ventura to convey his gun in her cleanse, just to make her anxious and exhibit how risky he is, and acquainted Miss Ventura with a way of life of exorbitant liquor and substance misuse, and expected her to get unlawful remedies to fulfill his own habit. She likewise uncovered how he put his hands on her again and again. For instance, there's the point at which they were returning from a party. Mr. Combs beat Miss Ventura over and over in a escalade, including by kicking and hitting her. He constrained her out of the vehicle on Fifth Road in New York City. She was in the end ready to hail a cab and get to her loft in Manhattan. The claim, like what Ice discussed when Mr. Combs beat Miss Ventura, driving her into an edge of the vehicle and trampling her face. When the vehicle showed up at Mr. Combs' home, Miss Ventura endeavored to take off, yet Mr. Combs followed her and continued to kick her again in the face. Miss Ventura was draining plentifully and was guided into Mr. Combs' home, where she started to hurl from the rough occurrence. She additionally guaranteed that he would medicate her out and pimp her out to different men, and he called it free. As per the claim, Mr. Combs generally provided Miss Ventura with extensive measures of medications previously, and during the foes, Miss Ventura was given euphoria, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, Mary Jane, and liquor in extreme sums during foes, which permitted her to disassociate during these terrible experiences. It became normal spot to get IV liquids in the days after a foe to recuperate from the extreme substances pushed upon her. She additionally uncovered him for purportedly attempting to unalive individuals, like the time he exploded Kitu's vehicle or the time he in a real sense attempted to unalive Suge Knight. The court archive said, for instance, on one event when Mr. Combs and Miss Ventura were utilizing drugs together in his home, one of his safety crew jumped in and reported that Suge Knight, a long-term opponent of Mr. Combs, was spotted at Mel's Drive-In Burger Joint in Los Angeles. Mr. Combs started to get dressed, recovered various firearms from a safe, and ran out of his home to where he accepted Mr. Knight was feasting. Did he in the end settle the claim? Yet his legal advisors kept up with his guiltlessness, saying, to make sure we're clear, a choice to settle a claim, particularly in 2023, is not the slightest bit a confirmation of bad behavior. Mr. Combs' choice to settle the claim in no manner subvert his flat-out refusal of the case. He is cheerful. They got to a shared repayment and wants Miss Ventura to enjoy all that life has to offer. However, at that point we figured out increasingly more About Diddy, and it just got shadier and shadier. Schneip made some noise from prison and uncovered a few obscure pieces of Diddy that Cassie didn't get in her Clang Kid. In the event that a man will uncover you from jail, you realize that he loathes your guts and needs to see you copy. He uncovered that Diddy put hands on his previous partner Capricorn since she concealed for Cassie when Cassie began dating Paxi. Dislike his new news, same time he beat down a mothering with some young laugh. Die name Cassie, or anything he had an associate by the name of Capricorn he felt Capricorn C was keeping his on low about in the event that she was meddling with QI, or not Puffy beat this, not that Shaq Y is uncovered in her scope records for taking care of Capricorn, so Diddy wouldn't go to prison. It was an in-scope individual. The end mentor really look at that paid her to settle, yet he wouldn't go to prison here while Capricorn in the end emerged to represent herself, and she had a ton to say set. He tweeted, "Don't follow the way of the mischievous, don't follow the individuals who do malicious, avoid that way. Don't for even a moment go close to it, pivot, and go another way. Precepts 4, 14 entryways be opened, you move to leave the cash, full stop. 2011 was damnation." She uncovered the business for empowering Diddy's awful way of behaving and concealing for him, while watching him hurt ladies and individuals around him. She said individuals of color turn out to be the penance for the era most recent. To 11 years of my life, I needed to manage everybody's outlandish loyalty to Satan. I ask that closes, I don't respect any of you, can't hold your head down and imagine it's cool no more improve. She at last said they will skin you and wear you child young lady then. At that point, imagine they never needed the skin. Kim was the main individual who didn't change around, the only one. Dim times I'm by and by exceptionally set off. I ask, it's over. I never merited this. RP Kim Watchman. And talking about Kim D. Orman, we additionally figured out that Diddy treated her gravely when she was alive too, and he would frequently put his hands on her. Diddy's guardian Gene talked about how Diddy treated Kim so seriously to the place where she at last began retaliating and protecting herself. One night you were at home at Kim's home on 110 the road. He needed to, put his hands on her in the incorrect manner, and Kim took one of those court botches and tore his wrist and hit her vein, and when she did, that he needed to rush over to Steve Luke's emergency clinic. Gene additionally, the way that he used to put paws on his then sweetheart and child mom Misa Hilton. Misa was after us. She was playing with the man you from EPMD. That is the reason Puff originally thump her at first. Vaughn were really persuaded for Miami and cautioned her to run. However, at that point, bits of gossip began circumventing that. Not just has Miami known about Diddy's activities yet, she could have additionally purported lie partaken in them. Recall when Diddy's side piece Gina Hun expressed this first and foremost, like the initial 3 and 1/2 years he was. Like the initial multi-month 3-4 months he was truly pleasant. However, at that point after that he begun being like I say, like the initial 3.5 years he was like unkind to me. So when you say mean portray it, he resembled continuously deprecating me and consistently he was like intellectually genuinely and actually meant. Well, fans are persuaded that Miami could have taken part in him harming different ladies in view of a portion of the things she shared with Gina via virtual entertainment. Do you all recollect that muddled battle they had via virtual entertainment last year? Everything began when Gina posted this image of Diddy kissing her on the cheek. Miami could have done without this, and she took to Twitter to blame Gina for pursuing clout, saying, "Someone, if it's not too much trouble, offer this be some consideration." Gina answered on her Instagram stories, composing, "Assuming anybody's looking for consideration, it's you, suck my D. I don't give a that." Miami then, at that point, guaranteed that Gina was attempting to involve her for clout, and she said, "Consideration be I'm the consideration we should be clear notification. Me kindly be ghosted down. We see you, loosen up. It's okay, you've been only around for a really long time. You've been looking out for this second on the off chance that he can't pay you on the map. B. I ain't contending with no honeybee that got modest build-up ball cover in they house effing on a tycoon. You freaky beginner," answered Miami, composing, "Why you so squeezed, mom? I thought you was a city young lady." Miami hit back saying, "I am, and that is the reason F with your man and ain't falling off him. It doesn't really matter to me the number of packs you post. Get that head bread and leave." My then said, "Assuming that I maintained that you should eat my P. Diddy would have had You kneeling down, you and eater Gina. You've been down awful since I came into the image. You've been weeping for a child for a considerable length of time. You've been around as a honeybee, the EP and D. When he feel like it, you and eater, you very honeybee, that was crying on Tasha K cause you needed a child. Unfortunate sushi. Many individuals accept that she isn't blameless in this wreck, and that is the reason she's getting dropped close by Diddy. Things deteriorated for her when Diddy was pushed out of Revolt Television, and they said SE comes to resign from his job as executive of Revolt. While Mr. Combs has recently had no functional or everyday job in the business, this choice assists with guaranteeing that Revolt remains relentlessly centered around our main goal to make significant substance for the